Attention Dallas Cowboys fans, stop everything you're doing right now because breaking news has just shaken the backstage of the star and taken the entire national media by absolute surprise. ESPN has just released explosive information from behind the scenes and officially revealed who is the biggest and most impactful surprise in our roster after the closed minicamp workouts. And no, I guarantee you're not prepared for this because we're not talking about some multi-millionaire superstar who graces the front pages of newspapers daily. The name that's making opposing defensive coordinators' hair stand on end, and that has been elevated to the status of unlikely hero of our offense. This season is that of our young wide receiver Ryan Flournoy. The kid simply shocked NFL analysts with such brutal technical evolution that even the league's most skeptical insiders had to surrender to the talent of number 19. The information is hot, legitimate, and official. Ryan Flournoy is the most talked about name in the franchise's corridors and is ready to completely change the offensive dynamic that quarterback Dak Prescott will have at his disposal this year. While all the spotlights were on the long contract sagas and the elite players in our group, this kid worked completely silently, relentlessly, and destroyed in training in a way that no one could have predicted. Pay close attention because what happened in the last few hours puts the Dallas Cowboys on a completely new tactical path, raising the bar for the offense and creating an immense mystery that will shake the foundations of our division in the NFC East. The stadium seemed to hold its breath to see who would take on the responsibility on offense, and the answer came as a real punch in the gut to the rivals. Exact character count of this block, 1735. To understand the magnitude of what ESPN journalist Todd Archer published, the coaching staff led by Mike McCarthy and offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer has established that Ryan Flournoy has completely isolated himself as the legitimate and undisputed wide receiver 3 of this team. Forget any tactical disputes or doubts about the supporting cast. The kid has opened up a gigantic advantage over names like Cavante Turpin, Jonathan Mingo, and the other receivers who were fighting for space on the sidelines. The justification for this unanimous choice lies in the athlete's solid numbers and impeccable demeanor. Coming off a consistent season with 40 receptions, 475 yards, and 4 touchdowns, including monstrous performances, such as that spectacular game on Thursday night against the Detroit Lions, where he punished their secondary with 9 receptions for 115 yards. And the great advantage right now is that he's being massively tested playing in the slot, centrally positioned inside the passing lane, which brings an absurd versatility that the team hasn't had since the departure of great veterans from the past. Before we continue to dissect this brilliant strategy, I want to ask a direct question to our Cowboy Nation that follows the channel. Do you truly believe that this tactical promotion of Flournoy has the real power to put the Dallas Cowboys back as the absolute favorite in the betting houses to win our division? Leave your honest comment and actively participate below, because your opinion is what moves our community. The expectation surrounding him is something totally palpable and real. And now the mystery of the offense begins to be unveiled with irrefutable data. Exact character count of this block, 1726. What caused this meteoric rise and transformed a player drafted in the modest 6th round at position number 216 from the small Southeast Missouri State College into a lethal weapon? The short and simple answer boils down to a single word that moves the gears of the NFL: confidence. Brian Schottenheimer himself opened up and publicly revealed the behind-the-scenes secret. Flournoy earned his place in the purest and most honest way possible, which was by doing the dirty work that almost no one sees on television. He gave his all on special teams, fiercely blocked the run, and showed impeccable tactical discipline. Anyone who has followed Dallas for a long time knows perfectly well that situations like this tend to shape the character of winning players in our history. This extreme dedication had an immediate impact on quarterback Dak Prescott. In today's NFL, if the tactical designer calls for a 10-yard route and the receiver stops at 12 yards, the play becomes a tragic interception and the blame unfairly falls on the quarterback. With Flournoy, this problem simply doesn't exist. Dak doesn't hesitate for a single second when he looks in the direction of number 19. He simply turns his body and releases the ball with full force because he knows the kid will be pinpointing the agreed-upon spot on the route. This incredible, surgically precise understanding was built with a lot of sweat in closed training sessions at the Star, far from the eyes of the general public. The silence before the snap said everything about this athlete's focus on seizing the opportunity of a lifetime, proving that pure talent mixed with an unwavering work ethic destroys any initial distrust from the national media. Exact character count for this block, 1726. The reaction within the Dallas Cowboys training complex was immediate and shows the level of respect this roster has for meritocracy. Internal sources report that the entire locker room embraced the coaching staff's decision, and the team's leadership is extremely excited about what they are seeing on the field. Dak Prescott himself has already made statements behind the scenes, making it clear that he feels completely secure and comfortable distributing the game with Flournoy on the field, as the chemistry between them has reached an absurd level of maturity. I confess that I didn't imagine such an overwhelming and rapid outcome for a second-year player. But the truth is that the numbers and the videotape don't lie to anyone. The Dallas specialized press, which is usually extremely critical and puts daily pressure on the franchise, has completely changed the tone of its analyses and now sees the kid as the key to offensive success. The organized fan base on social media has started making noise, and the excitement in the virtual stands is already gigantic. Longtime fans of the franchise are starting to draw interesting analogies with other historic late draft receivers, who appeared out of nowhere to decide big games and change the course of America's team's season. Now pay close attention, because this atmosphere of optimism and unity behind the scenes is exactly the fuel that differentiates an ordinary team from a true title contender. When the offensive linemen and defenders start cheering for a young talent's receptions in practice, you know that something special and genuine is being built for the journey. Exact character count for this block, 1729. The practical impact of this news on the Dallas Cowboys game plan is enormous and directly affects the team's tactical manual. With Ryan Flournoy fully consolidated and established in the wide receiver 3 role, the coaching staff gains the freedom to primarily use the famous 11 personnel formation, which utilizes a running back, a tight end, and 3 wide receivers spread across the field. I know very well that the modern trend in the NFL is to overuse formations with multiple tight ends, but you should never chase lazy league trends if you don't have the ideal pieces for it on the roster. Removing Flournoy from the field to force the entry of less productive players like Luke Schoonmaker would honestly be a huge mistake and a terrible coaching decision on Mike McCarthy's part. Flournoy on the field delivers the best of both worlds. He's a real threat with long vertical passes that stretch defenses, but he's also a formidable physical blocker in the running game, helping to open up space for running backs. He'll naturally take over the targets and plays that Jalen Tolbert used to handle, easily pushing the team's passing productivity into the 600-yard range. Furthermore, by playing more centrally in the slot, he allows CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens more freedom on the wings, completely confusing opposing zone coverage. Every offensive play with this setup seems to have the real power to completely alter the course of our season, creating a tactical puzzle that will give defensive coordinators in our conference a hell of a job. Exact character count for this block, 1739. Now, we need to broaden our perspective and look at the Dallas Cowboys' financial future, because Flournoy's rise directly impacts the payroll and the salary cap. The kid is playing under an extremely cheap contract worth only $1.088 million in the final year of his current deal. Next year, due to NFL rules, he will become a restricted free agent, meaning Dallas will have complete control of the situation and can apply the qualified tender offer system. Without a doubt, the management will put a second-round value, projected at around $6.26 million on Flournoy. This ensures that if any team tries to steal him by offering a long-term contract, Dallas can match the offer or simply receive a free second-round draft pick as financial compensation. This is brilliant because the 2027 salary cap is going to become a real pressure cooker. George Pickens' projected franchise bonus is estimated at a surreal $32 to $76 million, while CeeDee Lamb's impact after the mandatory restructuring will be around $25 million. Adding it all up, the Dallas Cowboys would have almost $64 million committed to just 3 players in the same position. That represents almost 20% of the franchise's entire financial capacity tied up in the receiving corps. The front office needs to use its intelligence and make a long-term commitment by extending Flournoy's contract to alleviate this burden and free up money to fix the rest of our defense. Exact character count for this block, 1746. The table is set, the numbers have been presented with surgical precision, and the mystery surrounding who would be the Dallas Cowboys' great secret weapon has finally come to an end with this bombshell revelation from ESPN about Ryan Flournoy. The coaching staff made the right choice. The quarterback gave his full seal of approval behind the scenes, and now the responsibility of executing the game plan masterfully rests entirely on the shoulders of our team on the AT&T Stadium field. If you're a true fan passionate about America's team and want to continue following all the in-depth analysis, the real behind-the-scenes details, and the daily updates of this NFL tactical puzzle without any messing around, do your part right now. Smash that subscribe button, activate the notification bell so you don't miss any content, and share this video with the entire Cowboys Nation on your social networks. We are very close to reaching our historic subscriber goal here in the community, and your presence is fundamental to our daily growth. Considering everything we've analyzed today, from the mechanics of the plays to the cold numbers of the salary cap, the big question that will dictate the course of our story remains: will this fantastic evolution and the brilliant cost-benefit ratio of Ryan Flournoy be the missing pieces to balance the budget and finally lead the Dallas Cowboys back to the Super Bowl? Or are we facing the beginning of another offseason full of illusions that will end in frustration in the playoffs? Leave your honest opinion in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video on the channel. Exact character count of this block, 1742.